Hey everybody, Matt Johnston here. We're back talking about social media policies, and this is the second of two videos where we're talking about the contents of a policy. One of the most difficult things that has happened socially between or because of the lack of a line between personal and professional is that there is an assumption, whether real or not, that an employee, regardless of who they are, somehow is speaking for the company. And that particular sort of phenomenon needs to be very clearly defined, particularly when you're dealing with small businesses. Somebody who works as a cashier at Walmart or Target or the local grocery store, they're clearly not going to be assumed to be speaking for the company. But if you have a small business where you have, say, 4 employees, it would be very easy for somebody to infer that an employee in that small company has some sort of special insight, some sort of special ability to speak on behalf of the company. Now, you can't really do much about the public's inference of that, but you can ask your employees not to imply that they have that ability. So, your social media policy, once you want to have a section of that that's dedicated to warning employees against appearing as though they are speaking on behalf of the company. Now, some of the ways that that often happens is some people will say, I'm an employee here or I work here and my company is doing X. It's not the I work there, it's the my company that gives the impression of some sort of ownership, some sort of management, some sort of say in how the company is read or the company is operating. That's not the kind of image that you were wanting to project when you're dealing with social media. So you want to warn your employees not to create the impression that they speak on behalf of the company. One of the easiest ways to do that is ask them not to link to the company website, to the company social media, unless they are just sharing some sort of information that the company is putting out. Doing so helps avoid the implication by the employee that they have some sort of way to represent the company. That often comes up in situations where they're dealing with the media, which brings us to the next point. You do want to ask your employees to not engage with media personalities or media writers or anybody like that because the media will assume that this person is reporting something accurately. They will assume that your employee is authorized to speak on behalf of the company. And it is on the employee to make sure that that media person doesn't have that belief. So you do have to define media, and you are going to have to define media contacts very, very broadly. Nowadays, media doesn't just include what we would think of as traditional media, newspapers, magazines, radio, television. Those, of course, still exist, but you may be dealing with somebody who is a blogger, a social media influencer. They might be an independent journalist, they might be freelancing, and you may not actually know whether or not this person is acting in a media capacity or in a personal capacity. And if this is a person that the employee is dealing with that has routinely engaged in media activity, news reporting, news commentary, then you have to assume that this person is going to put it out there for public consumption. The other thing that we need to worry about is social media has the word in it, media. And in our current environment, it is very, very easy for one person to post a short 20-second, 30-second video and have that thing go viral in a way that would make the coronavirus very, very jealous. Those kinds of things have a way of getting around very quickly. So you want to warn employees that your engagement with other people online, your engagement with news reporters, whether online or in person, has the potential to come back at the company, sometimes in a very negative way. And in doing so, can jeopardize not just the company, but that employee's continued employment. Not through any action that you, the employer, may take, but because of the action of individuals outside of the relationship that the employee had with that particular media contact or that particular person. So you want to inform your employees that this is something that you need to be careful of. Your engagement in talking about company issues, talking about company information, even with somebody that you would consider a friend, could end up resulting in some very dangerous circumstances, not physically, but financially, business-wise, circumstances for both the employee and the company. So you want to encourage them that if people are asking about the company, they're asking about what the company is doing, what they're saying, that it should be referred to you as the owner or to an appropriate person within the company to deal with those kinds of questions. Just because an employee works there for a long time doesn't mean they always know what the employer's preferences are. So we're going to end this particular video here. Our next video, we're going to talk a little bit about the tensions between EEOC and the National Labor Relations Act as it applies to social media policies. So in the meantime, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. Either click the button here or the button here, or see some of the other videos that we have on the channel. In the meantime, stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.